Does anybody want to do anything?
A minute past 11:45, and we're going to get started. I call this meeting to order. Number one, is there anything that needs to be added to the agenda at this time? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the December 3rd, 2025 agenda as submitted?
So moved.
Thank you. And, okay, so I have Emily and Sharon. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of the October 22nd, 2025 minute meetings, the pending deposited gifts report, and the statistical reports as submitted or amended? Cynthia, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All right. Public comment. Does anybody want to make a public comment? Going once, going twice. Moving to reports. Let's start with the library friends. Clay?
Yes, Ruth couldn't be here this afternoon, but she did send along a, oh, hang on.
Oh, wait, turn it on. I'll hold it for a few seconds. Hold the down for a few seconds. There we go.
There we go. All right, for everybody else that's out there. Okay, good afternoon. Ruth couldn't be with us this afternoon, but she sent along a few notes. She says the Friends held a generally well-attended annual meeting on October 23rd with a program given by local author Tony Gentry presenting his book, The Night Doctor of Richmond. Tony joined as a friend of the Richmond Public Library after the meeting. Friends Fall book sale went very well with many new attendees. The official accounting is due to the Friends this week, but unofficially the sale took in approximately $18,000. Once again, our best sale since before COVID and even sometime before that. Friends are in the process of interviewing a potential new board member. Currently, we have 16 out of 18 board positions filled, though more new board members are needed to fill open positions and help replace retiring members. Executive board meeting was to be held on the evening of Wednesday, December 3rd. That would be today. However, we will be attending the RPL Foundation gathering at that time, and we'll have an informal board discussion via email.
Thank you. On to the foundation. Susan?
Thank you very much. The foundation would like to extend congratulations to the Friends on another successful book sale. We are very excited, and we've heard good things from foundation board members who have volunteered in support of the sale. Additionally, the impact report for FY25 is out, and we are hearing positive feedback so far. We welcome additional insights and suggestions from everyone here. The annual appeal is scheduled to go out late this week, early next week, sort of a different format. So again, we invite your feedback on that. Related to grants and fundraising, I'm delighted to share that the Jack R. Anderson Foundation has awarded a $20,000 grant to help upgrade children's areas in our 8 branches. So after the first of the year, we will be getting together with branch staff and making some decisions about new assets for our early learning areas. Additionally, the REB Foundation has supported the Read with Ripple program with another $5,000 grant. We are deeply appreciative of their steadfast contribution. And then after the first of the year, Heather and I will be teaming up to apply for a Virginia Humanities Grant in support of the April 25th 2026 Dios de los Niños event. So stay tuned for more information on that. And as Clay mentioned a little bit earlier, the foundation's year-end board meeting is today at the West End Branch Library. Our business meeting is from 4 to 5, and our open house, to which everyone here is invited, is from 5 to 6 p.m. So we hope to see some of you there. Thank you.
Congratulations to both Friend and Foundation. Shannon, could you please model the new offering from the RPL store? It looks spectacular.
A great opportunity to wear a sweatshirt to work. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Well done. Okay, over to Scott and Library Administration.
Don't really have anything to add to my written report that's included. I'll bring up something after I let Haley do her presentation.
Okay.
And then we can add it to the agenda
Okay.
later. But I'll turn the floor over to Haley.
Haley, we're excited to hear from you.
Haley's our branch manager from Belmont, and she's going to provide us a quick update on our
Mural.
mural.
Sure. So if you all recall, back in October, I asked the board for approval to get a mural put into our children's department from our local artist, Zara Stasi. Do we have a clicker for the PowerPoint?
No, you can just.
I'll give you a thumbs up. Can you click forward for me? Maybe. So this was some of the concept art that was submitted to us, and we were really excited about this. It kind of follows the alphabet, so every little piece there is an animal or thing that begins with the next letter of the alphabet, and it kind of wraps around the children's area. If you want to go to the next slide. So you can see here a little bit more detail, and then if we keep going through the PowerPoint, we're going to get to some of the initial concepts that you may remember from October. So we can just flip through these real quick. So this is kind of what we were envisioning. And you can see here, this is Zara working on it in real time over there on the right. It was so much fun to have her come in and do that work. And then we also opened it up to the community so that people could register to help paint with her. She's a professional muralist. She's done murals for Anthropology, for William and Mary, a lot of really big projects like that. And so she's used to working with the public on these as well. So she did kind of like a paint by number situation. So there were some people who came in who said, well, I can't paint. And she was like, yes, you can. And they did. And it was really cool. So if we go to the next slide here, you can see our before and then, ta-da!
Beautiful.
And you can see here, we actually reconfigured our children's area a little bit to better show off the mural. We initially had those computer tables up against that wall, but once we had the mural completed, we realized that we really wanted to show that off more. We didn't want to cover any of it. So we reconfigured things a little bit. And then if we go to the next slide here, we can see where the alphabet begins over on this corner of children's. This is the before, and then ta-da! There it is now. And it's a really nice end cap between the beginning and the end. So you can really see the whole picture in children's now, and it really defines the space in a really welcoming, warm way. And then if we scroll down, I think there's one more slide, maybe, yay! So there is our final piece. We are so happy to have been able to benefit from the Museum Districts Association's micro grant program, which is how this was funded through Zara's application for that. So we're very thankful for the Museum District Association's contributions and Zara's skill contributions. And it's just a really lovely addition to the library. So thank you all so much for your support. Yay.
That really is great. Super.
So super, thank you very much. That was a lot of work on Haley. She brought it to our attention, made it happen. So congratulations to Belmont.
And
it's
appreciated.
and very much appreciated. I just want to highlight circulation appears to be up 5% across the board. So that is very strong. And for December, we're having a pretty great year. I don't know if some of you were able to attend the Read Up event that we had last month. Mr. Nguyen came and gave a very powerful presentation. I feel like we had about 100 people in the room, so that was an excellent Sunday afternoon, and big congratulations to our Read Up team for pulling that together. I will wrap up with, we've had a request from GRTC to add a bus stop enhancement to the Broad Rock Library. Right now, they have a bus stop along Warwick Boulevard, Broad Rock Boulevard. It's on the east side of the library. And it's just a post, and they would like to put a concrete pad down with bench seating and a little shelter to cover it. They don't have enough room in the city's right-of-way to do that on their own, so they need permission from the Library Board of Trustees to proceed to install that and do the design work for it. So it doesn't appear to, Heather and I had a meeting with them on Monday, with the representative from them on Monday to discuss the project and what they needed. They need permission from us to proceed. In your packet, they provided some cut sheets that would show what it possibly could look like before they can start designing it and specifying what size it could be or where it could go. They need permission from us to proceed. So I would ask you to consider that under new business.
Okay, so we'll circle back at new business and add that
Yep.
to the list. I thought the Read Up event was really good, and I'm sure it was purposeful, but they had a number of book clubs there, and they had all kinds of questions, which was really nice to see. You know, people had read the book, they showed up, they wanted to talk more about it, everything you want in an event. So I thought it was a really good one. All right, advocacy, over to Sharon and myself. Can you go to the Christmas card, Bill? The first thing, the important thing, since it's the holiday season, is the Christmas card from the library. This is the design. Jen and Josh, I think, did a really good job coming up with graphics that reference reading and libraries, and coming up with a tagline that's more than RPL wishes you a happy holiday. You know, it just nice, mission reflective. There's going to be hard copies of this, and there's going to be electronic, a gift activity that you will all get whichever way you want to do it. Use this for your designated counselor. And you don't have to say anything more, but if you want to add another sentence or two, super, your call. And people that are library adjacent, if it's your community association, if it, you know, who you just want to, as a trustee for the library, send library greetings. It's up to you. Now, Jonna, do you want people to tell you whether they want print or electronic, or how do you want to do that? Okay, so if you want print copies, just let Jonna know. If you want the file, just let Jonna know. And if you want both, you could have both. But it's the warm touch that I think is appropriate for December. So that's the first thing Sharon and I wanted to mention. The second thing is the advocacy task force. So we talked about this. You guys worked really hard in October to come up with our budget-focused advocacy plan. This is what we decided after the work we did in the meeting and the comments in December. If you have a chance to see your counselor, talk about budget. It's going to be okay after Thursday. As I understand it, is that right? That Amy said that the counselors will all know what the budget's going to look like on this week so that we can talk about it thereafter.
I don't know that the mayor's not going to announce his budget until March 6th.
But they're going to see the budget.
I didn't catch that if she said that.
Okay,
I-
well,
and
let
I-
us double check that
I-
because we want to
yeah.
make sure we do not ever step out in front of our city leadership. So we'll check that and get back to you. Shannon, do you happen to know? Okay. So, but we'll want to talk to them and listen to them about their concerns with the library budget. The one thing we know you can do is send the card, however you want to do that. All right. Anything you want to add, Sharon?
I did want to add, it's kind of something new, I guess. When we talk to those folks who we need to talk to, it would be, if you're like me, I'm a visual person. So I would like a map of Richmond, pinpoint where the libraries are, so they can see like library deserts, you know. So start putting that in their mind, you know, that these areas are growing and there's no library in vicinity. And like I said, a visual.
So similar to the one we had.
Yeah, that. Mhm.
Okay, yep.
So whenever we talk to someone, please show them that.
Okay, any questions? All right, Emily, over to you. Policy.
No update.
Board committee reports. I am so excited to introduce you to our new trustee, Antoine Green. And I've asked him to tell us a little bit about himself.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you. Appreciate you much, Madam Chairwoman. It's good to be with you all, Director Feinstein, my new fellow Board of Trustee members, to the staff, in particular. Clay Deshawn is an old friend of mine. Go way back, so it's good to see his face and the fact that he hasn't aged or changed. And I had all these years, I got all this hair on my face, got a little gray patch here now, Clay. So it's really good to see you. And I believe that I also recognize, I think Miss Woody, she probably doesn't remember my face at all, but she used to work in Henrico County. And was it the Dumbarton? Tuckahoe. Yeah, Tuckahoe, I knew was one of the libraries that I used to frequent a lot.
There?
And I didn't work there, I was just always there. Yeah, so.
You're famous, Janet.
Yeah, you are, right? And would you? Oh, no, not at all. I was always probably in a book or in a magazine or a newspaper back then, and which, and what I want to say is it kind of brings this whole, story with me being on the Board of Trustees kind of really full circle. I spent a lot of time in libraries as a kid. I spent a lot of time, Haley, over at the Belmont Library. I really did. I'm a Carytown resident. I'm a Richmond native. Went to Henrico County Public Schools. Grew up in Carytown. I currently live in Carytown. I love Richmond, and I long have taken advantage of this community resource called the library. I always like to say that I probably have learned more in a library, in particular a Richmond Public Library, and I probably shouldn't admit this publicly, but keep this between us. I probably learned more in the library because I've always been an independent learner. And I love to read. I still love to read today, probably that I did in any classroom that I ever attended. Not to say anything bad about Henrico County Public Schools or VCU, where I graduated from, but I've always had this special affinity for the library, Richmond Public Library, and it's good to be currently in this current role, looking at our value, looking to give back, and looking to try to give as much as I can and help young people in particular learn the fun, the value, and the love of reading, because it's really been tremendous in terms of how it's been really helpful in my life, in my professional life. And so thank you for the opportunity. I feel like this is so much of a blessing. So thank you.
So for a trustee, we always have a number of requirements.
Okay.
The first one is always that they love the library.
Yeah.
Okay, you put all the rest of us to shame.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
Up
apologize.
our game of
Yeah.
library loving.
Thank
Yeah, so we're very happy
Yeah.
that you've
Yeah.
joined us. The second thing I want to introduce, and Scott may want to talk to, I have a little thing that I'll mention, is we finished our year and we've got our numbers. And to Sharon's point of visuals, this is a pretty cool visual that we could share with our council members and with those that we work with. Do you want to kind of comment on any of the numbers that you're really delighted with?
Well, I'm very pleased to see us break 1 million in circulation. We haven't done that in a very long time. And so that's an impressive number because last year we were like 900,000, just getting close to it. So it really does like show that we're being used and we're being very much loved by the city. Visitorship is also up. I think we're going to be 10% higher than that. So 500,000 visits. That's impressive for us. And then I think one of the main drivers, and this is something that the board asked us to do and made highlight, let's focus on library cards. Let's put library cards in citizens' hands. It's a way to promote the library. It's a way to connect to our users. And we had 21,000 library cards. And a lot of the credit for that success goes to our staff. Library card sign-up month. That's been a huge driver. It raises awareness, it gets people signed up, and it puts those cards in people's billfolds and on the keychains. And so it reminds them all the time to use the library. So anytime we can remind our community that we're here, that we're open, that's a good thing. I think all of those numbers are positive. Would we like to see them more? Absolutely. I want to see them grow. And
Well, we're going to see
continue
more.
grow.
Yeah, we're going to
So-
do better and better and better.
It helps us demonstrate to our users and our champions that we continue to do the work, and we're going to keep doing the work. So
And I'll add two things. First, we all love our children's summer reading program. We're up 50% over the past 2 years. That's astounding, and kudos to the children's team. If you look at physical location, the first smaller line, meeting room usage, 12,000. I'm a big benchmarker, and one of the things I worry about is that we have no small meeting rooms in any of our branches. So I looked at Henrico's meeting room usage because they have meeting rooms besides the one big one. And you know what their number is? 55,000. 5 times. And the reason we don't do it is we don't have the meeting rooms. So it says to me, we are missing a great opportunity to serve our community because we don't have the resources to provide them to use. 55,000.
Did that count their study rooms?
Yes,
So
yeah.
that's all their spaces.
All of their meeting rooms, yeah. And for us, we have one meeting room, but we don't have any small spaces, you know. So I always like when I benchmark something that we all feel is a problem, and then you get a number, and you say, "Oh, okay, super cool." Any questions about this? And we're gonna send out have we sent out electronic copies of this? Okay, we will, all of you will have an electronic copy. To Sharon's point, we'll do the map and we'll do a copy of this.
And the big thing is this helps us tell our story. This is the one page that we always have. We need, so when you're talking to your council person or talking to citizens, you can say, you know, don't overwhelm them with the numbers, but say, hey, maybe you didn't know we had almost 500,000 people visit our libraries. One thing I do want to highlight is Read with Ripple. That's our VA Reads. We distributed almost 15,000 books to Head Starts and daycares, child care centers to promote early literacy. And I firmly believe that early literacy is one of those accelerators that helps children get ready for school, get ready to have success. So I feel like it's part of our effort helping RPS achieve and raise their graduation rates, raise their literacy rates. So we can point to that and say that's an effort that we put a lot of investment in. The foundation critically supports it, and it's a big one. We don't have readers in our community if they don't have books to read. So that's all part of that.
Okay, thank you. Finance Committee, do you have anything to?
Bill wasn't able to be here today. We did have a conversation this week. He's looked over things we are tracking as expected. 26% of our budget has been expended for the first 5 months of the year. We're on track to hit our targets. Our budget request is in. We are reviewing it with the administration. The mayor is preparing his budget again, which will be which he'll present to the city on March 6th. Right now, the city administration is reviewing all of the end of the year revenues and expenditures, and departments are presenting their budget needs and aspirations to the CAO, and that's what they're preparing right now. And that may be what DCO Popovich might have been talking about.
Okay, and that's tomorrow for Scott,
yeah.
so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
So, and the way it'll work this year is departments are all presenting to the CAO, and the CAO is preparing the budget request, and there will be what they're calling a side-by-side. We don't know what that'll look like. In the past, the mayor would just present his budget, and all of the documents would be the mayor's working papers and not open to public review or scrutiny. This year, departments are asked to put their requests in, and so it will sit side by side with what the mayor is able to fund and also what the department is requesting. So everyone will be able to see that, and so that's part of the next. That's the big change this year. That's the big change of the Google administration over past administration.
Okay.
We're confident. I've had a lot of positive meetings with the budget department and the strategic planning department, and we discussed that at our last meeting. So that's moving forward.
All right. Facilities, Janet?
Well, Chris has been very busy working on facilities, so I'm gonna bounce it back to her.
I think we're fine for now. And I'll just mention, December is usually just our cleanup meeting. We come back much harder in January. So enjoy how speedily we are moving through everything, because we've had meetings where that has not been the case.
Well,
And
I'm
not
just
a-
saying that Chris is working in the background. While we sleep, she's working, generating enthusiasm for facilities.
It's easy to be enthusiastic. Garrett is on a work assignment. He has nothing to add, but looks forward to talking to everybody in January. Unfinished business, I don't think we have any. So let's do our new business. Do you want to do the bus stop or start with the bus stop or end with the bus stop?
Let's end with the bus stop.
End with the bus stop. Okay. So new business includes one, we have to vote on holiday closures.
That's on page 23 of the package.
And as you know, we're a governing board, so they can't close the library unless we tell them it's okay that they close the library. So look that over. I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes. If you have any questions, direct them to Scott.
Do want to highlight the mayor has given the city December 26th off, so the day after Christmas. So there'll be a 3-day closure for December 24th, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after. So we will reopen again on Saturday and Sunday. So we
Right.
will close those
Just
3
like
days, but-
Thanksgiving you did.
So just
Yeah.
like thanks, so it'll be
Yeah.
the same as Thanksgiving.
How does it work, like, for extreme snow days, like?
So we're preparing for that as well. Clay will be attending a call for an inclement weather today at 3 o'clock. The city has already begun preparing for the forecast that's coming our way. I received an email this morning, and Clay and I were both laughing a little bit about it because it said, "We are certain of the uncertain weather." And I thought that was very clever from the new EOC kind of coordination manager team. And so the city does a lot to prepare. So we start getting information. They have their weather forecasters that are preparing things. And what we do is we monitor what's happening, and the city will make the call. They try and, if it's a snow day, it's similar. We don't use the same matrix as the school system because they have a whole different platform that they use, buses and that sort of thing, and children standing at bus stops. So we don't necessarily use that. So the city applies a different metric to how they make that determination for closures, and we just watch what they do. Now, there are times when the city is already closed, like on the weekend, but we're open. So then it falls on Clay and I's shoulders to assess the situation, see what the streets are doing, and make the call. We watch what our peers are doing in Henrico and Chesterfield, and because we don't want to be out of step, because we're all kind of working together to make sure that number one, it's safe for our employees to come to work. It's also safe for patrons to be out. Don't like to prematurely close, but we don't want to also be open if it's not safe. So it's a very challenging thing to assess between 5 and 7 a.m. on those mornings.
Have you ever been approached to be like, what they call inclement weather shelters or anything? I mean, have they ever said anything
So
about?
it really depends. There's a whole process of how that would work. We cannot, a shelter implies a lot of different things. We are not able to be a shelter. We're a space that people can come in and use, the general public can come in and use to get cool in the summer or use to stay warm in the winter. But we don't provide any other resources other than just a climate space. And so the city will sometimes refer folks to us in terms of like, hey, here's a place to go during the day when the shelters are closed. So they have an inclement weather shelter that they've opened. It stays open from November 15th to, I think, April. I'm not sure the exact date. And they have formulas that they use for that. So we are not an official shelter, but we're a space that people are reminded to use. When I was a kid, I would go to the library in the summer because we didn't have air conditioning in the house, and I would go and read at the library, and it was great. So that's kind of how it works. And if someone is
a problem, though? Yeah, I mean, security wise, I'm curious, you know.
So we do see an influx of people coming in during the summer, especially sometimes in the winter. We handle those patrons just like we would any other patron. If a patron using the space is welcome to use the space. There are certain rules they have to abide by when they're in the space, and we're responsible for enforcing those. Have we seen an increase this last summer? Yes, we saw an increase this last summer. I think the extreme heat was one of the drivers. I think some of the changing dynamics in neighborhoods of the city, folks are using us for those spaces for public restrooms and also inclement weather, which is great. When we have behavior issues, we follow our policies and procedures for addressing those, and we treat everyone as equally as possible.
Always.
So we usually, we do our best to continue to train staff and work with staff on how to address folks who are having social or emotional behavior issues, and handle those as best we can. And last resort, we have to contact the police. So it is an ongoing challenge, but and it's been a challenge for many, many years, because we are the one public space in the city of Richmond and any community where anyone is allowed, everyone is welcome to come and use the space, and we are happy to have them in the space. So you don't have to have a membership, you don't have to pay a fee. You're welcome to use our space, and as long as you're using our space appropriately, we're good.
I know at one time there were social workers kind of assigned. Do we still maintain a connection with social services? For
Oh yeah.
people to come
We
in, and
work-
how's that work?
We work pretty closely with the Continuum of Care, which is that group that supports homeless in the city. I'm also, the library is part of the Human Services portfolio,
Right.
and DCO Popovich oversees that portfolio, and in that portfolio is Department of Social Services, Office of Community Wealth Building, Parks and Rec, Department of Juvenile Justice Services, so Juvenile Justice Services, Multicultural, Office of Multicultural Support, not getting their name right, but so those 6 departments are in there, and we work together to address kind of those, if someone's in need of services, has social emotional issues, we discuss how we can best serve them. The homeless services has increased. They have teams that work. They go out to help. They work with police to help identify folks in need of services, and we do our best to connect with them. We also work with RPD as best we can, and so, we would love to have a social worker back in our space. We had that prior to the pandemic. We had someone. It was a grant-funded position from the Daily Planet, and they were a part-time social worker in our space, and it was successful. I would like to see us try that again, and we're working to do that. So we're an urban library, and we have everyone is welcome, and that means everyone is welcome, and so we have to deal with everyone, the good and bad of that proposition.
Other questions? Are we ready to vote on the holiday closure list?
So you'll notice that on November 14th, that's Marathon Day, and we closed the main library for that because if you try to get to the main library, it is very, like, you can't get there. You have to basically park and walk. And so that's one problem. If they ever change the route, it might make it so there's like a pathway. If you're around on Marathon Day and you live in the city, you know that you're tied up. And then we've also, this next year, we'd like to return to Staff Development Day. And Staff Development Day is an opportunity, it's an in-service for us. We can pull everyone together, we can do, update them on strategy, what's going on in the library, do some specialized training, and just bring everybody together for a time to do that. And so we're proposing to close for that day. December is, you may think December is like a busy time for us. It's one of our slower times. It's when things start to slow down. And actually the next 2 weeks to the end of the year, we have people coming in and using us, but we felt it would be a good day to close.
Sounds good. Okay. Are we ready to make a motion?
I move to accept these dates.
Thank you, Janet. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Cynthia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And there we have it. Bob's your uncle. The next thing that we have to deal with is our trustee meeting dates. And that is on page 24. It looks the same to me as it has for the take a minute or two to take a look, and then we'll ask for questions or concerns. And Antoine, you'll see we try and hit all of the libraries because it's important for the library staff to know who their trustees are. Okay, any questions or concerns about the LBOT meeting schedule? All right, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Well, this is your first. Oh, how exciting. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Bus stop.
Bus stop. So I briefly mentioned it in my report. GRTC would like to add a bus stop with a seating and a shelter at the Broad Rock Library on Broad Rock Boulevard. That's the east side of the library. It's fairly close to the street. They don't have enough room in the right of way, so they'd like permission from the Library Board of Trustees to start designing and implement that. There's they gave us some cut sheets, so you can look at those. They're kind of what it would look like if it's certain sizes, what it would be. They can do all kinds of things with these bus stops. As you ride around town, you'll see there's all different sizes and shapes and different kind of furniture in the bus stops. So I think it's great that the GRTC is considering that because kind of standing by the bus next to the pole is kind of, and standing on grass, some of them are just right on the grass, and you know, you can wait up to 30, 45 minutes for a bus. So nice to have a seat or just a place to get out of the sun or the rain. So I endorse this. Did you have any concerns?
Yeah, Heather, do you have any comments? Anything that troubles you? Okay.
I'm hoping that it will bring the area.
I love that way of thinking. I love that way of thinking. Okay.
And Cynthia's a regular bus user, so I think she.
Yeah, we want Cynthia happy. Yeah.
I do drive, but I do take the bus, and I noticed this morning on Bell Boulevard, they have a new shelter system with new seating, and it's solar energy. Then up at Walmart on Bethosian Turnpike, they put a gorgeous seating area. So before you had to stand out in the elements,
Yeah.
but now It's really, really
Ooh,
nice.
I love it. I love it. So how do you want to phrase the motion?
The board,
Can I ask a question?
Oh, of course.
JRTC maintains
Oh,
that,
yeah.
we don't have any obligation to do anything.
no, we just
No.
have to
clean
mow
or
around it,
or
and
anything.
yeah, they're responsible for it. They just,
You're gonna give us a track.
No,
I think they are gonna give us a trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna give us a trash can, and they're gonna take care of the trash can,
Okay.
so. Yeah.
I'm fully in support of this, but do we have an idea of how much space they're planning on working with? Looks like this is all of the available models.
All the available models.
Okay.
They weren't able to tell us how big or how small it would be because they won't proceed until they have permission to proceed. So they'll probably come back to us with different options.
So normally at the shelters, it's no more than 4 seats in there individually, so it's a real separating each customer there. So I'm not gonna say how long, but it's not very big. It's not gonna take up a lot of space. And then it's depending on which one they do, it's surrounded by glass. So, and it's well lit at night, so everybody can see what's going on at the shelter.
Yeah, I think it's a good use of space.
Yeah, and I noticed the one at the Walmart where they attached a garbage can right there. They have no excuse to be throwing the trash in the grass, so I think it'll be a great idea.
They won't, if there could ever be an expansion of the library, would there be have to be some distance between that and, would that limit an expansion? Can that question be asked? I mean, I don't know, about building codes and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, setbacks are setbacks. They didn't have enough room in the right of way. That's why they've come to us and asked us to do that. So we would have to take that into account if we expanded the library there. So that's a question for y'all to consider.
Mhm.
Can I add something? There's about 12 feet between the sidewalk and the building. So we wouldn't be able to expand much in that direction anyway. Most of our space to expand is at the north and south ends of the building.
And we'd have to go up, I think, if we ever went bigger there.
So, question, is this just a vote to allow them to proceed?
Yeah.
And then would there be a future vote on whatever they decide, or is this just kind of?
I don't know that they're gonna come back to this. I think they're gonna just design a pad and put it in. I think they just want permission to proceed. And it'll be done.
Okay.
Unless you want to break it down into 2 motions. You could give them permission to proceed, and then we could ask them to come back, and then you could approve what they present.
Over to you,
As long
you
as it's
three.
one of these,
Tell us whether we should.
I know
They spoke with that.
with the newest one that's up at Walmart,
Yeah.
it's a ramp. So if somebody is in a wheelchair.
Oh, they said it was gonna be,
Yeah,
that's a good
and it
question.
can roll right on up to where the bus driver can lower down.
They did
Yeah,
address
so that
that
they
in
can
our
get
meeting.
in.
They said it would be ADA compatible.
Okay.
So I asked them that too. They said there's a lift that comes out and it lowers down onto the sidewalk.
Yes.
So that will be considered as well. My recommendation would be to just give them authority to proceed and get it done.
Okay.
Yes.
Then let's go with, thank you. We're gonna go with Scott's, so phrase the motion.
Library board authorizes GRTC to proceed with installation of a bus stop that includes a shelter and seating and a trash can and is ADA compatible.
Okay, got that, John? Okay, what Scott said, do I have a
I
motion?
so moved.
Thank you.
I second.
And Cynthia, all right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. Before we adjourn, we have 3 community managers here. The trustees want to extend to you and all your staff. First, congratulations on a great year and happy holidays. Clay, to the community managers that are not here, if you could send the trustees, best wishes and congratulations on a good year. And don't tell them, next year we're going to do even more. We'll give them a little break, but between all of us, we're next meeting is January 28th. It's going to be at the main library. Same time. Yes.
While you're giving kudos, I just want to say I am so impressed and thank you to all those who are doing the outreach, the listing of things that people have done. That is very impressive, and kudos to all those who are going out to these places and schools and things and presenting our message.
We can't thank them enough. They're why we exist. So yes, great addition.
Before the end of the meeting, I have something I need to say.
Okay.
Okay. Working with this board over the past year has deepened my understanding and has been a valued learning experience. I look forward to expanding my knowledge so that our libraries remain efficient, customer friendly, and a resource for all. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah. Happy holidays, Georgia.